right, well, here it is. That green canopy kind of helped to find it. She is broken up a little bit. She's doing about 50 miles an hour. She went in. So we've got 1, 2, these 3 broken arms on here. Okay, I went ahead and taped the arms back on, and I'm going to go ahead and power it up and see if we can assess how much damage was actually done, see if the motor still works, see if the camera still works. Okay, I just turned it on. Let's see if that's a good sign. Camera's working, that's a good sign. Go ahead and start the motors. Yeah, they're all turning. Great. Okay, I can get these arms on eBay for about 25 bucks each and replace the 3 arms, which I might end up doing. If I do that, I've got to unsolder the motors and try and fish the wires through. Saw a guy doing it on YouTube. Looks like a lot of work. I think I can just go ahead and use some epoxy and fiberglass here and fix it up. I'm sure that I can make the arms just as strong as they ever were, and give that a try. I'm going to go ahead and start repairs on the right front leg first. I'll remove the tape holding it together and use some 30-minute epoxy just to kind of tack it in place before I add some fiberglass and maybe some carbon fiber. Got some 30-minute epoxy mixed up here. Go ahead and apply it to the broken area of the arm. Put the arm back on and tape together, let that set up before I put on some fiberglass. That's epoxy back together. Let that set up for an hour or so, and then we'll go ahead and add some fiberglass. It's been a couple of hours now. It's been setting up, pretty well hardened. I went ahead and removed the tape. Looks like it sealed it up pretty well. And I'm going to go ahead and add some fiberglass right now, and that'll really give it a lot of strength. You can't just use epoxy. It's just not strong enough. You've got to reinforce it with several layers of fiberglass or carbon fiber. And I'm repairing the left front arm as well. I used some wire to try and get that sealed up as much as I could. And here's the patch. I'm going to go ahead and put epoxy on the arm first, and then just put the patch right on top of the epoxy, and then a little bit more epoxy on top of the fiberglass. Now we'll go ahead and put on the fiberglass cloth. And I think that looks pretty good. Let that set up, and then I'll go ahead and trim off the excess with a razor blade. I went ahead and trimmed the fiberglass on the right arm, and now I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing for the left arm, and then I'll put another coat of epoxy on there. I think that's going to be good enough. One wrap of fiberglass seems to be thick enough on here. It seems pretty strong. I think it looks okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and finish up the rear arm. Sanded the arm down a little bit before I put on the final coat of epoxy. Put the final coat of epoxy on the arms and went ahead and put the canopy back on. The propellers are all back on, and I used a little bit of blue thread lock on all the screws to make sure they don't vibrate loose. Yeah. Okay, here we go. We'll see if this thing works after the repairs. Good start. That's in normal mode. Yeah, everything looks good in the goggles. I'll bring it back toward us. Yeah, I think it's good. And now I'm going to put it in S mode and do full power kind of up and away. Just a second here. Okay, here we go. All right. So that should be max G's on there. Held up okay. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and check the gimbal. All the way down. Back to level. All the way up. And back to level. It seems to be just fine. Head on out here a little bit. Turn left. Turn right. I think everything looks pretty good. We'll call it a success.